What's up, fellas, and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. My name is Marvin, for those who are new, and yeah, today I'm reacting to an American who lived in Germany and tells something about his impressions here. And yeah, I would just want to give a little reaction on that because I think it's very interesting to see also the German side of you. And yeah, with everything being said, I would say we hop right into that video.
So when I landed in Germany, I remember the first thing that was kind of a shock was hopping on a train. I had never been on a train. Now it seems really normal, but I hopped on a train, went through the beautiful countrysides of Germany down to a little city called Marana. And I remember being kind of shocked at how small it was and that we had a car. And then there were little tiny things that were shocking to me. I mean, just for the fun of saying what they were, there was like a light switch. They're not like switches, they're kind of like pads. Yes. So you hit a whole entire pad. Or the pillows, they're not rectangle, they're squares. And they're windows. They don't open up and down or side to side. They tip in and out. Yep. And they open kind of like a door. So there was a lot of little differences. Like
yeah, it's the little things that you notice that you're in a different country. It's also with the power station, or however this is called. This is always different, and when you're here with your German power station system, you're trying to go in an American one, it's just weird because you don't really know how it works, and then often you need an adapter to make the right fit in it. So yeah, it's the small things
that they have. I mean, our apartment had our washer and dryer in the kitchen, and then I thought that was just our apartment, and then I realized a lot of apartments are like that. So.
Okay, yeah, but I think this is pretty normal in rentals, because you want to save some space, and I've seen it in a lot of bathrooms or extra rooms, which is pretty normal. So in the kitchen, actually, I've never seen that before. So this is not the normal case.
Those were little tiny things, but nothing big. My favorite food in Germany is just schnitzel and Rotkohl. Rotkohl is just red cabbage. And they would have Klöße. So that's basically, it looks like a potato, but it's not. It's just a dumpling. I guess that's what it is in English. And that was my favorite, was when we just had schnitzel, Rotkohl, and Klöße. I also really liked Rouladen, which was just meat rolled up and they'd marinate it, and it just tasted really good. I liked their meat. Simply said.
Yeah, that's cool. When you're coming to Germany, always try to find places where you can also try a Weißwurst and a Currywurst, pretzels and bread. I think this is the main thing where German food is known about. Or a Maultaschen if you're in a specific region. There are always things that are regional, which taste so amazing, and yeah, just try them out. It's nothing bad.
I really learned to like red cabbage, which I disliked. I also liked sauerkraut. Didn't like that either. So.
Yeah, I can understand it. Not every German likes it too.
The weather in Germany is similar to here in Utah. I mean, the hots are a little bit hotter and the colds are a little bit colder due to the humidity. I really like their traditions that revolve around music and the traditions that revolve around Christmas. They start Christmas at the very beginning of December, and they have the Advent site, which is the time of the Advent, and they have these Advent calendars and they have Advent wreaths, and they celebrate each Sunday prior to the Christmas morning, and that's a tradition that I would want to hold up for the rest of my life.
Oh, not bad. But I have to say that we are not all. We're, of course, the majority are Christians here in Germany, but we have also other religions who are not celebrating that. But I think, in my point of view, the better tradition in Germany is the Weihnachtsmärkte, which is translated so Christmas markets, where you can grab some Glühwein, that's hot wine mixed with some cinnamon or stuff like that. Just tastes amazing. And then you also can grab some food, have a good time with your family or your friends. So this is what Christmas is about for me in Germany, which is a great tradition. So if you're here over Christmas, go to a Weihnachtsmarket, Christmas market. Pretty cool.
With my family. And another tradition that I found interesting was they open their gifts on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me. I always thought you do it Christmas morning, but Germans are a little bit different that way. Let's see. Another cultural thing about Germany is the public transportation. So you don't see as many cars in cities, and the roads aren't very wide because they all take public.
Yeah, but here I have to say, I am living, like 30 to 40 kilometers away from a bigger city, and I'm living in a small village with around 500 to 1,000 people, and I still have good access to public transportation, which means in the main times, each 20 minutes I have a bus, and then coming to the train, which is amazing. So you don't really need your car especially in the early ages when you're a student or something. You are not really dependent on a car, which is really good in my opinion.
Public transportation. It was interesting because I spent majority on the east side, which was under communist rule, where the DDR was these last not too long ago. And so we met a lot of people who were communists. I never thought that I would become friends with a bunch of communists. It just never crossed my mind.
Yeah,
as an American,
all people,
but
so
it
why
ended up
not?
being wonderful. I had a lot of friends that had a lot of different political views that I had never really viewed before. I learned to respect other people's opinions a lot more, to not be so hasty to judging. And I realized that the ideals of communism can be appealing.
Yeah, but in this case, I really have to say, guys, if you have the ability to travel, do it. Because you get so much more information about different cultures. And as he said, you can also have good access to information about how are people dealing with their political stuff, or just different types of things, that you can have a new point of view, a new impression, which can maybe also help for you to find your way or yourself, which is not a bad thing at all.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't categorize them all as communists. A lot of them were just socialist and had more of those communistic ideals. But it was still an eye-opener for me when I started making friends with people.
Yeah, of course. You don't have to
if you're
adapt it for
German,
you, but
the key to
it's good to know
language,
it.
I think,
so
is
everything's
just
cool.
Speaking it constantly, and you can do it. I didn't think I was going to be able to learn a language, but I got a lot of support from my siblings who would write me letters saying, oh, you can try something more like this, try something like that. For example, my sister, she plays the piano, so she kept telling me to continue to study and memorize the charts of the German language, which tell you der, die, and das, so the masculine, feminine, and neuter cases, and when it's going to be nominative, dative, genitive, things like that. And you memorize these endings, and she compared those to a scale, like when you're learning the piano. And so she said, just keep memorizing those. And that proved to be really beneficial. Also,
my respect to you.
Learning German, the first thing, I learned is was bedeutet. So what does this word mean? So you'd say was bedeutet house, and then they'd say in English house, So that makes it so you can continue a conversation just by asking somebody, what does that word mean? And then,
yeah, really cool. But I think that there are languages which are more difficult to learn, especially the German language has a lot of adaptations to the English one, which means, for example, house or house is pretty similar. So sometimes you can really memorize the knowing of a word by just hearing it, because it sounds pretty similar and you may have a direction of it, so not bad.
Then they can answer that. And then the second sentence I learned was wie sagt man. Wie sagt man means how do you say tree? So wie sagt man tree, and then they'd say Baum. So those two sentences were the first things I learned in German. And then from there, if you're stranded on the street,
Okay, guys, that was the video about some impressions here from an American point of view on Germany, and also with some information or comments from me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos of me and my channel. You can also influence the content by giving your thoughts, your suggestions in the commentary section. Would be very interesting. And yeah, if you have any more questions, I try to answer them in the commentary section as well. And yeah, that's it from my part. Wish you guys a great day and a great week. Goodbye.